Hello guys, and welcome to episode number 46, where we will be solving 5 more SQL problems, this time 2 from Google and some other companies. So let's get started with problem number 1. Video game player, we have a group by here, find the latest date when they logged in. Basically here we have a max. So let's get started right here. For every player, now we have only 2 fields here. For every player, we're going to say select player ID and then we group by the player. Now we have the for every player statement right here. Now we want to show the maximum of the login date, which would be the most recent one. So we're going to say recent login, and that should be the final solution right there. A quick recap: for every player here, we want to show the maximum login date, the most recent one. Problem number 2. We have to find the last record of the data set without using limit or order by. And here we have a clue. The earliest records correspond earliest. Earliest record is earliest employee ID. So basically that means the maximum employee ID would be the last row. So we simply want to show the row with the highest employee ID. And the way we're going to be doing that is going to be with a subquery. So we're going to select everything because we want the entire row. And we're going to say where the worker ID equals with the maximum worker. To find that one out, we have to use a subquery. I'm going to say select max of worker ID from our worker table. And this should be the final solution. So quick recap here. We want to select everything where right here the worker ID to be the last, the highest. The way we find out that is by using a subquery, which will return the maximum number. In this case would be 12. Problem number 3. This one is from Square and Amazon combined. We have to find the position of the lowercase letter A in the first name of the word worker. Right here. So you have to find the position of this character where the first name equals this. So actually this is a filter. We have one filter. And then we have to find this character right here. The position of this. So let's get started right here. Let's do our filter first. Where, what is that? A first name equals to this one. Right, our filter is done. Now we have to find the location here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer should be 5. Now we can simply use the locate function, and the first argument is what are we trying to find, then the second argument is where are we looking for, and the third argument is what is the position it should start. And in our case, because pretty much all the first names start with capital A, locate is not capitalized. So let me show you. I'm just going to say here location char. If I run this, it's going to say 1 because it finds the A character right here. But since all of the names start with a capital letter, we know that the first one, it's impossible for it to be lowercase. So here we're going to say it should start checking from the second one on. And if we do it like this, in this particular case, we get the correct solution. So quick recap here, we want to find this character, the character A, in the first name. But in our case, we want to start checking only after the second character because the first character will always be capitalized. And this function right here, the locate function, it is not case sensitive. Problem number 4, get the job titles for the 3 employees who receive most overtime pay. Most overtime pay. So we have to output one single column, job titles of 3 employees with most overtime pay. Now let's check out the data. Here's quite a lot. We have salaries, employee names. So one row equals a salary, but we don't know if one row equals a unique employee. So I don't know if we have to aggregate or not. Let's assume that one row is one employee and that this would be the employee ID. Makes more sense instead of a salary ID. So if we are assuming that, we have to first rank them. We're going to create here a CT table, CT as, and now we want to select the job title. And that's actually all we need. Then we want to rank them. We're going to use the rank function over. We're going to use the overtime pay order by overtime pay descending. We're going to name this RNK. And that's there. Now we just simply want to select job title from CTE where RNK less or equal than 3. And this should be the final solution. And there we go. These are the 3 titles. So our assumption was correct. So quick recap. In here, we want to select the job title and we are ranking the rows based on the overtime right here. Overtime pay in descending order. And then we just want to show the top 3. We want to show 1, 2, and 3. And problem number 5, guys, last one for today. Find the number of libraries had 100 or more total checkouts. That's a filter. February 2015, that would be potentially 2 filters. Be aware it could be more than 1 row for a certain library on a monthly basis. That kind of sounds like we have to do some aggregation. First, let's put in our filters because that's the easy part. We have to look for February 2015. Now that's a lot. Wow, that's a lot of information in there. Let's just look at the data. Try to figure out where we have. So probably we have to use these two. Circulation active month equals February. And circulation active year equals 2015. 2015, there we go. So those are our filters. Now we have to check 100 or more total checkouts. So if you look here, we have a total checkouts and it is an integer, which means we have to sum it up actually. And because here it mentions that there could be more than 1 row for a library, we have to actually aggregate based on the libraries. So we will say right here, we want to group by the library. Now this sounds like a good identifier. Home library code for every library here. We want to check if the sum of total checkouts is greater or equal with 100, and we want it to show the library codes, maybe, yeah. This one is going to show us the libraries one by one. We actually want the count of these. Now, unfortunately, we can't just say count here. It's not going to work. We have to create this either as a subquery or as a CTE. And I always prefer CTEs because they're easier to read. So we're going to create a CTE here with this entire thing. And then we're simply going to select the count of everything from CTE. There we go. 1 single row. And this should give us the final answer. But let's just say here number of libraries. And there we go. It looks cleaner now. So quick recap, what we are doing here is we are first creating a table which will show us the libraries who have more than, I have to put 100 here, my bad, where we have more than 100 total checkouts. And we are grouping by the library code. We have 2 filters here, February month, month equals February, and the year would be right here, 2015. 2 filters, 1 group by, and then we check for the aggregation if it is more or equal than 100. And down here, we simply want to count the number of rows from this table. So that was it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoy these types of problems, I highly encourage you to join the StrataScratch community. Consider using the affiliate link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.